The A21 campaign, an anti-human trafficking organization, states that there are more slaves in the world today than at any other point in history, with an estimated 27 million people in bondage around the world. Every year, mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, sons, daughters, wives, and husbands are removed from their homes and taken into captivity where they are forced into labor and sex trafficking. But what is this modern-day bondage, and how does it affect people like you and me? The A21 campaign defines human trafficking as the illegal trade of human beings, with instances such as forced labor and sex trafficking. This epidemic is not only worldwide, but it also happens in the United States. Human trafficking does not just happen in foreign countries. It also happens here in America. Today, I am going to talk about three of one of the many places where human trafficking happens: Greece, Mexico, and New York City. Let us first begin with talking about Greece, which is the farthest away from us and has the biggest hold on human trafficking today. Greece is one of the largest ports of human trafficking in the world. According to Encyclopedia Britannica, Eastern European countries, such as Greece, are known as origin countries for human trafficking. This means that these countries are not only destination stops for human trafficking, but they are also trade posts where traffickers can buy and sell their merchandise, meaning young women and children. Because this country is so infused with this heinous crime, the A21 campaign has declared this country as their hub to combat this horrible malady and to protect and rescue these poor young women and children. Now that we have caught a glimpse of the breeding grounds of human trafficking in Eastern Europe, let's now take a closer look at a place a little bit closer to home, Mexico. In Tlaxcala, Mexico, it is the country that brings in the most sex slaves to America in the entire world. According to a Nightline ABC News segment from last year, Tlaxcala brings in women from many different Latin American countries and traps them in the slave industry. These women and girls, ranging from ages 12 to 25, are then transported to different cities from the border states and the eastern coast of the United States. After these young women are smuggled into the United States, they then make their trek to possibly the last stop on this horrible journey, New York City. New York City is able to camouflage human trafficking by conducting human trafficking in places that they like to call massage parlors. These businesses can be in shopping complexes, plazas, and even on street corners because of the somewhat innocent facade that they portray on their storefronts. But on the inside, there are women and children being exploited for their bodies for literally somewhat no money. Organizations such as the Polaris Project in New Jersey provide rescue efforts and protections to human trafficking victims in not only New York, but also the tri-state area, including Washington, D.C. Today, we've taken a look at three thriving human trafficking hubs in Greece, Mexico, and New York City. Human trafficking is not an issue that should be taken lightly. Mr. Steven Seidenberg from the ABA Journal reports in his article from July 2014 that because human trafficking is so vast and rampant, there is little to no way to detect these instances of modern-day bondage. Women in Greece and Eastern Europe are being smuggled in and trafficked on a daily basis. And women from Mexico and Latin American countries are being shipped to America right underneath our noses. This epidemic is slowly growing, and yet so few people even know it exists. Today, I hope that my speech has brought your attention to this heinous and malicious crime that not only happens in foreign countries, but also in America. Within this time that I've spoken to you, on average, 8 innocent human beings have been trafficked and exploited. For more information on human trafficking and what you can do to get involved, go to www.a21campaign.com.